In this video, I'm going to talk you through how you can create an enemy within your game. If you jump on top of the enemy, you will kill the enemy and bounce off of them. And if they touch you when you are not jumped on top of them, then they will kill you. First thing that I'm going to do is add a new scene object. It will be a sprite object, and I'm going to give it an object name of enemy. I'm going to create it with Piscal. For me, I'm just going to make it a solid block, but you can make it whatever you want. Click save there. I'm going to add a behavior, and the behavior that I add is going to be the rectangular movement behavior. So I'm going to search for rectangular movement in the search box there. I want it to start in the bottom left hand corner. I'm just going to get mine to move up and down. So I'm going to put the width as 0, the height as 200. So I want it to move up and down 200 pixels. I'm going to change its horizontal edge duration to 0 and its vertical edge duration to 2. So it's going to move fairly fast, I suppose you could say. I'm going to click apply now, and I'm going to drag and drop my enemy into my game. And I should see that it moves smoothly up and down. Nothing's going to happen at the moment if it touches my player. Now I need to do some programming. So I'm going to close down my preview, and I'm going to open up my event sheet. There's quite a bit of programming to this, more than what we've done in the past, but not a ridiculous amount. The first thing that I'm going to do is check to see if the player is touching the enemy and that they are also falling. And if they are, I'm going to delete the player. And then I'm going to check to see if the player is touching the enemy but not falling, and then I will delete the player. So I'm going to start off by adding a new event. I'm going to go add condition. I'm going to click on the player, and I'm going to type in falling, and then I'm going to select is falling. I'll then click OK, and I'll add my second condition, which is going to check to see if the player is in collision with with the enemy, and then I will click OK. So here I'm checking to see if the player is falling and the player is touching the enemy. If that is the case, I want to delete my enemy. I'll click OK. So I can test that now to see if it's working. So I've got my enemy there, and it should be the case that if I jump on top of it, it is deleted. And I'm going to test it again, and I should see now that if it lands on top of me or if I walk into it, nothing happens. Perfect. Next thing that I'm going to do is delete my player if the enemy touches my player when I am not jumping. So to do that, I'm going to add a condition, which is going to be basically the same as the one above. I'm going to check to see if the player is not falling. So I'm going to type in falling, and then I'm going to invert the condition. So that's checking to see if the player is not falling. I'm then going to add my second condition, which is going to check to see if the player is in collision with the enemy. If that is the case, I am going to respawn my player to the start position of the game. So I'm just going to see what the coordinates would be for the start position. If I hover over my player where I want my player to begin the level, I can see that it's got an X of 66 and a Y of 467, no pun intended. So I'm going to type in 66 in the X position and 467 in the Y. Now, if I test my game, I should see that I can jump on top of the player, and the enemy rather, and they will be deleted. And I can also be touched by the enemy and be deleted. Perfect, or respawned. Now that that is all working, I'm going to set it up so that my player will jump off the enemy if it touches them. So to do that, I'm going to add a condition, and this condition is going to relate to my player, and it's going to be allowing my player to jump again. So what we've got to remember is that when our player touches our enemy and they are falling, they are in the air, and the way that our game is being created is that if our player is in the air, they are not allowed to jump. So here we're giving them permission to jump again. I'm then going to add another action, which is going to relate to the player, and it's going to simulate the jump key press. I'm just going to type in jump key pressed, simulate jump key pressed. I'll click OK now, and I'm going to preview it to see if it is working yet. I might need to add some time delays to get it to work properly, but I should see, perfect, that when I jump on the enemy now, I jump up in the air as a result. So I'm going to go for that. Cool. Brilliant. Just going to test it with multiple enemies to see if that all works properly. So I'm going to add a couple more enemies to my game. And then I'm going to preview it. And I should see now that if I jump on top of one of the enemies, I'm able to jump on the others.